Frank Roberts, and I work for Innovate Inc. We did come and visit, I don't know, different board members, whoever, back in August of 2017. So we just kind of reconstituted some of the presentation and proposal we had put together back then. We're excited to get a call from Colleen and Jesse just inviting us back out. With me on the line, I have Amanda Knight, who is in good old Deer Lake, not too far away from you guys. And I was there too, and just until about 6 months ago, then I just moved to Hope. And then Bryce Bradshaw is the other Innovate team member that's on the call, and Bryce is down in Coeur d'Alene. So our company is based in Alexandria, Virginia. I run the IT and the geospatial division from my home here in North Idaho, and I've hired up a bunch of people that are local in North Idaho because those are the people I've done this kind of GIS work for the past 30 years or so with. So we have a pretty good clump of folks in this area. Innovate itself, just a little bit of background, is we have about 130 or 120 people, something like that, depending on what day you count. We do a lot of federal government contracting. Innovate is a minority-owned, woman-owned business headquartered in Alexandria. But we also do a lot of local work around North Idaho and the Pacific Northwest. So one of the primary things we do is geospatial or GIS type mapping and analysis and set those kind of systems up for people. So I feel very comfortable doing this kind of work, and we've got a lot of awards and things like that over the years, but I won't bore you with that. As I said earlier, I'm the director of the division of the company. The company's basically cut in half, and I run about half of the company. And then one of my managers, Dan Spinoza, actually lives up in Sandpoint, and he will probably lead the team here if you guys want us to do the work with Amanda, Chris Farouk, who's also in Spirit Lake, and then Bryce down in Coeur d'Alene. So those are the people we probably have working on the project, but we've got another, 60 staff we could bring on if you really needed to. I don't think that'll be the case. Any just general questions about Innovate before I talk about a few of the projects we've done, just that are kind of similar?
No, I think we have a good handle on who you are.
Okay, cool. So just to kind of provide a little background, so our team has spent a lot of time in kind of historic parcel data area. So Dan Spinoza, who's the project manager, he actually used to work at Bonner County. And Dan actually hired me when I worked at the Coeur d'Alene. I spent my first 20 years of growing up working at the Coeur d'Alene tribe. And so I actually helped Dan convert all the parcels for Bonner County, and also he helped convert all the Cooney County parcels too back in the day. I had a contract as a Coeur d'Alene tribe GIS manager to do that work. So very familiar with the data that could be used in this project and just kind of the process of how that data is converted. Kind of similar in nature, we did a similar project with the city of Pend Oreille, so they kind of didn't have any GIS in-house, and we helped them stand it up in kind of the same cloud-based solution that we were recommending for you folks. So city of Pend Oreille is another one of our clients, or has been in the past. And then the city of Plummer is yet another kind of local client that we've had for their utility department. So they have an electric utility up there, and we did a complete digital conversion that includes all the field work and collecting the data, and then getting them the system in-house, and then training their people how to use it. So they have a very similar person to Jesse, one of those kind of people that holds the organization together, taught her how to use it, and then we stepped away, and then they've been maintaining that. So maybe kind of similar ideas. So that's just kind of 3 examples. I know we've provided a description of the project. And so, I guess we've been through the description a couple times based upon the 2017 meeting, and then again here a few weeks ago. So I feel like we still have a pretty good idea of what's going to occur in the project. We broke it down into kind of 9 different parts. And so I kind of want to, I guess, Colleen, do you want me to walk through those parts, or you guys can read PowerPoints on your own? What would you like me to do here? I know you guys have a lot of things on your agenda.
Well, the thing that I just have a question before you even start. We have a GIS through JUB. So did we get that electronic?
Yes, we did. Steve sent that to me. So if we contract with Innovate, we'd be able to marry in our existing water GIS map in with a new sewer one. And then, the key points on this page that he's showing right here is the linkage to historical parcels, linkage to current parcels, and the linkage to El Dorado. So that is like incredibly important for the district. It, would make it to where if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, that somebody would come in and they would have all of this information. And every time we do an update in our billing software, it would update the GIS map. And it is increasingly difficult for me as time goes on when a new customer or somebody comes in and they want to hook up to something and a parcel number is changed or a subdivision was created or something like that. And it takes an immense amount of work on my end to tie in what those are and lots of different papers and lots of different things. So for somebody to come in and try to do my job, they would need to know, I have to look at these 5 places. Well, that's a lot. Yeah. So,
I'm not questioning whether it's needed.
I know. I just wanted to give that information.
Thanks for that, because I'm with you. I think we have to get electronic, and we have to move into the 21st century instead of paper.
Well, the other thing is this whole thing that we just addressed about our books not being reconciled and people all paying different amounts and us having no idea that, the marina should be paying us, $1,600 or $1,700 more is because of this. That's exactly what has got us here, is that our systems are not tied together. And what I listed, Jesse, you can go to the map. It's got all the parcel numbers have been changed. Can't tie anything together with parcel numbers. And so your systems don't talk to each other. So we get the map book done, and then it doesn't talk to the billing system. Yeah. And so if we don't do something, if we send Bob out, we get everybody paying the right thing on the commercial accounts. If we don't do something to get our systems talking to each other and continue on an ongoing basis, in a year from now, we're going to be doing the same thing.
Yeah. So, Frank, going through 1 through 9, how quick can you go through that? I have gone through. I'm sorry. Because I have looked through some, most of this, and I do have some questions on a couple of them. So, can you do it kind of quickly?
I'll just whip right through them, and then we can ask some questions after we step through the tasks. How about that?
Okay. Great.
So the first thing I recommend is kind of, instead of processing everything, we just process a little subset. So you guys tell me a geographic area, maybe it's one of the map pages, and we just do that, and we go through it from A to Z to complete product. And that way I can then tell you guys, how long it's going to take to do the whole project that way, and when we understand the steps.
So how does the GIS map from JUB help you?
Sure.
How does it help?
Yeah, so they've spent, or you guys have paid them to collect some data, and the system that they're using is compatible. It's the same software as what we use here. We're an Esri business partner, and so we'll be able to add that, and you think of this like layers of acetate on a map. And so we can add those layers or turn them on or off, and that will just add to the information you guys have in your system.
Okay, great.
Does that help?
Yep.
Okay. So step 1 is just to do the initial workflow just on a subset of data. We then are recommending all that information. So talking to Jesse, after this is done, I don't want it sitting on my computer or Amanda's computer where you can't get at it. We're recommending you guys spend some money, and then we upload it to this product that Esri has called Arcgis Online, and that way Jesse and other people in your organization can access the data, and you're not tied to Innovate. Not that we wouldn't want to continue working with you, but that way it's on your thing. You can view it, you can make maps, you can update it, and call us if you need help. Kind of thing.
That's great. So this company, is there people that we can call to see how they like it? Is Arcgis Online?
Yeah, so Arcgis Online is the name of the company. They're kind of, I don't know if the right word is, kind of the Microsoft of the mapping world. So they're a big company based in Redlands, California. But certainly you could talk with the city of Sandpoint, the city of Hayden, the city of Coeur d'Alene, Kootenai County.
Great.
We all use the same software.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of the standard thing. So yeah, we're recommending that you guys buy a seat of that. We'll upload the data to it and configure it.
Yep.
And I can show you, I can walk you through that in a few minutes if you'd like.
Okay.
Or a sample of it. So step 3 is kind of getting all the historic data. So I know you guys have some maps there. So doing the conversion of the historic maps. I'm friends with the person at Kootenai County. I'll see what digital data they have, if they have historic data. In fact, I've already asked that question for them. He hasn't got back to me yet. So that's step 3, is get the historic parcel data in. And this is kind of an example of walking through it. So I think back in 2017, I got copies of your maps. And then we did a little bit of work kind of looking at them just to kind of assess what it would take to roll them in. So we have spent a little bit of time investing our own monies just to figure out what it's going to take. And that's what we built our estimate upon.
Okay.
Step 4, and thank goodness, in a few years, you guys have actually completed this step. So originally, we had the ER book. That's been now converted. Well, converted once, and then Larry did another kind of little bit of conversion for us recently, and so that will be less of a task than it was 2 years ago or so to put that in. Because the idea is we want to take that data and join it to the GIS data so you can view it and make decisions based upon that.
Great.
After we have that, so once we have converted the digital parcel data, then we will connect that ER data to it. So basically getting those two databases to connect. So finding common keys between the two and making sure all the records match up. And then we'll also link to the current parcels. So we'll know who the current owners are, and we'll be able to see how those parcels have changed over time in some cases. So maybe a parcel was a big piece and then it got subdivided, right? And so you'll be able to see where those ERs are and where they've been divided and such. Help solve some of the problems. The 7th task is, and once again, we did a little bit of this work back in 2017. And so basically developing a linkage to El Dorado where all the billing information is stored. And that's really your master record of people and their addresses and all that kind of stuff. And basically working to get that information into the GIS. So now you, like was said earlier, linked the systems. And what Innovate does a lot is we're a system integration company. We do that for all kinds of different databases and different systems and help everything come together in kind of one thing. We do a lot of that for other folks. So nothing new to us. Here's an example of that. So back in 2017, I connected with the people over there that made El Dorado. They did a one-time export for Jesse, and then we mapped those. You can see these little green triangles here. So that's the El Dorado data from 2017 in the GIS. So we would work out a system so maybe it exports out once a month. So the latest and greatest data is always in the map. I think Jesse and I have talked about that a little bit. And then task 8 is really creating some help documentation. So Jesse or others in the organization know what we did, how we did it, and then how to use the tools that are made. And then the last task really is just providing ad hoc support. So this is kind of, we built the system, we built the linkages, we kind of step back, but you guys can still call us, call Amanda, call Bryce, and if you need help, then you've got a little cushion of stuff that you can call us. And some organizations kind of want to keep that on the books, so we have a lot of organizations that just they want to be able to pick up the phone and have us wander over and help them when they need it. And if they don't ever pick up the phone, we don't ever charge them.
Okay.
If they do, then they pay by the drink, they pay by the hour. So that's kind of how we roll most of our projects. And then this is a breakdown of those costs for each of the tasks. And we typically try, because it's not like going out to my Chevy and taking 6 lug nuts off and putting a new tire on. Every GIS system's a little different. There's different components, different data involved. So we try to provide a range of costs. So that was my 30,000 foot overview of the project. Any questions about that?
There's.
I think this is after Larry did some of that initial work too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ER conversion will probably even be less than this, but we still have to kind of convert it from Excel and put it into a database and join it up. So there's still some fiddling around, but certainly Larry helped out a bunch there. That was awesome. So
Great.
Well, you're going to have to go through that data because there were some errors in there. I kind of hid some of them, but I just kept, basically kept it what the ER book said. But there were definitely some errors in states and zip codes and stuff like that. And I wasn't sure as the maps whether they were correct or not too. So you're still going to have to do some research on that data to make sure it's all correct.
Right. Yeah.
So
this is. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. So is there any way that the any of the board members who want to get involved can help you to minimize the cost?
Yeah, we would love that. We'll certainly, when we go through phase 1 where we just kind of step through the process on one select area, then we can identify areas where you guys could help out if need be. Love, that's always good
to help out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm showing you right now is a sample of Arcgis Online. So this is literally the data that I converted back in 2017 when I first talked to you guys. So the red lines are the county parcel data. At the time, I think we were going around and you guys were actually showing us some things in the system. So, like here's the water tank. And if I click on a feature like the water tank, I can bring up information about it. So I've created a little database already. I can click on, I can upload pictures of it. So if I want to know what it looks like, I can click on that and bring up a picture of the water tank. And then the same thing goes for other features there. So example, I think this is one of the pumping systems. And if I want to look at the triplex system, there it is. And this is all stuff I did on my phone when you guys were touring me around 2 years ago. I know some stuff has probably changed, but I kind of want to present you with kind of the possibilities of what can be done.
I'm seeing that, I could possibly put the data in. Yeah, because it is just a program, right?
It is, yeah. There's some expertise of making the map fit, but I'm willing to, work with Amanda and you and whatever we can do to help,
Okay.
There'll be certain parts of it that we could certainly use a hand, and I don't have any problem with that.
That'd be great. Just to get the hours down.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be really impressed, Frank, if you have pictures of the Navy's meter connections, 3-meter connections to our teams. You got that?
I might get in trouble for that, so I don't think so.
No, I'd try it.
Sure. So here's the El Dorado customer database. So this is the conversion of that. So that's these little triangles here. I'm actually going to turn the map so it's a different color here, so we can switch the map to something else. So I'm going to make it gray so it's easier to see this. And so, yeah, we can click on one of these triangles, and then we can look at, so this, in 2017, this was the person that was in El Dorado, and this is all the information that's held in the El Dorado system. Certainly we know that it can be done. It's more the automation of that process. And then making sure these triangles are based upon the address found in the database. So certainly we probably have, some cleanup to do, but just provides an example of, some of the functionality that you would have within the GIS if you wanted to.
Yes, and this would help show me where some of those things, because I regularly run across things in the system that needs to be updated and stuff, and that'll make it more apparent to me. So
Yeah.
Frank, can I ask, is this actually also browser based once it's transferred over to Arcgis, so that we could look at it not only online, but is it also mobile friendly that we could actually get it up on our phones if we need to?
Absolutely. So this is all web based. The data's on the web, and it'll run on your phone. In fact, so I was mentioning we had the big storm up here in Hope, and so I actually configured one of these apps on our phone, and my community members that know nothing about